Women's golf has seen some unbelievable transformations, the kind that make you double take and wonder what happened behind the scenes. From prodigies who vanished to icons who reinvented themselves completely, these golfers look nothing like they once did. And trust me, their journeys are even wilder than their glow-ups. Let's break down the stories everyone's talking about. Paula Creamer. Paula Creamer was once the definition of early promise wrapped in pink. Back in the mid-2000s, the Pink Panther walked into the LPGA like she owned the place. She wasn't just a rising star, she was the star. Paula had that perfect combination of confidence, charisma, and clean mechanics that made everyone believe she'd be stacking majors like they were souvenirs. By 18, she was already lifting trophies and collecting sponsorships like trading cards. Fans loved her, the media adored her. And brands? They couldn't sign her fast enough.
I learned so much about the country that my husband and I took our honeymoon there, and it was amazing. It was the best trip I think we've ever been on.
But behind that signature pink outfit was a player quietly battling physical pain that would eventually derail her career. Injuries became her biggest enemy. Wrist issues, back problems, and even the recovery from surgery slowed her momentum. It felt like every time she got close to the Paula Creamer we remembered, something else would knock her back down. And as the LPGA got younger, stronger, and more global, Paula suddenly found herself struggling to keep up. And then life hit her with even more twists. Marriage, divorce, long breaks, attempts at comeback rounds. She lived entire chapters away from the spotlight. The once dominant player who seemed destined to rule the LPGA turned into someone fighting just to make cuts and stay relevant. But here's where Paula proves why fans still adore her. Even now, she's not done. She became a mother, took time to rebuild her swing, regained strength, and returned with a more grounded attitude. Today, Paula Creamer looks nothing like the teenage phenom from the 2000s, and that's not a bad thing. She's older, wiser, calmer, and carrying a life story far heavier than any pink-themed hype ever showed. Transformation? Paula might be one of the biggest. Wie. Wie was supposed to be golf's chosen one. At 10 years old, she was hitting 280-yard drives. At 14, she was teeing up against men. And by 16, she had more media coverage than half the PGA Tour combined. She wasn't just the future, she was the headline. With her long swing, tall frame, and superstar aura, Wie looked like a generational talent ready to rewrite history.
I'm really new in the investing space and I'm learning as I go, and it's been really amazing to have PitchBook on my team.
But as every prodigy learns, hype comes with a price. Michelle's body didn't always match her talent. She battled wrist injuries that would have ended most athletes' careers. She played through pain to keep the momentum alive, and those decisions haunted her for years. Critics started calling her overrated. Fans couldn't understand why the wins weren't coming. The media pressure? Insane. She wasn't just in the spotlight, she was glued to it. Then finally, redemption. The 2014 US Women's Open. Michelle's performance was dominant, emotional, and long overdue. For a moment, the world got a glimpse of what she was always meant to be. But after that peak, injuries came roaring back, and Michelle's priorities changed. She got married, started a family, and began stepping away from competition entirely. Now, Wie West looks completely different from her teenage prodigy days. She's a businesswoman, a mother, a designer, a leader behind the scenes of women's golf. She's not chasing the spotlight anymore. She's shaping the future of the sport in her own way. She traded power stances on the tee box for elegance, motherhood, and advocacy. The transformation isn't just physical, it's personal, mature, and honestly, inspiring. Wie didn't disappear. She evolved. Natalie Gulbis. Natalie Gulbis was the definition of LPGA glamour. At the height of her career, she wasn't just a golfer, she was a brand. She had calendar shoots, reality TV fame, endorsement deals, and magazine covers that turned her into the sport's biggest crossover star. On the course, she was consistent and competitive, but off the course, she was a full-blown celebrity. Natalie had the charisma, the looks, and the marketing power that made her one of the most recognizable athletes in golf.
A little bit of a wall of inspiration. I have some different things throughout the house from my life of 17 years on.
But all that fame came with criticism. Some said she leaned too much into modeling. Others claimed she wasn't getting enough wins. And as the LPGA shifted its identity, the Gulbis-style glamour era faded. Injuries crept into her game, especially back issues that slowly chipped away at her competitiveness. Fans who remembered 2006 Natalie, young, powerful, always smiling, watched her fade from leaderboards little by little. However, Natalie never let the spotlight fully go. She transitioned from golfer to businesswoman, ambassador, and motivational speaker. She spent years rehabbing, trying comeback after comeback with a level of persistence most people underestimated. She became a respected voice in the LPGA Players Council and even stepped into political circles, advocating for sports programs and women's representation. Today, Natalie Gulbis looks nothing like the swimsuit model golfer stereotype the media once boxed her into. She's far more polished, far more established, and far more mature. She's nearly retired but still respected as a pioneer of modern LPGA marketing. Her transformation is wild, from young star to celebrity icon to elder stateswoman of the LPGA. And honestly, she pulls off all three versions like it's nothing. Jessica Korda. Jessica Korda came into the LPGA with the type of raw power and height that instantly separated her from the pack. She was tall, athletic, charismatic, and carried herself like someone built for the big stage. She turned pro young and immediately delivered, grabbing wins, racking up top 10 finishes, and proving that the Korda family wasn't just a sports family, they were a dynasty. But behind the success was a body constantly fighting against itself. Jessica dealt with jaw surgery so intense it changed her entire facial structure. Later, back injuries became her biggest nightmare. Fans would watch her swing and wince because even through the screen, you could tell something wasn't right. Tournaments became battles of endurance rather than showcases of talent. Still, Jessica pushed through. She won in dramatic fashion, delivered clutch moments, and remained one of the most popular personalities on tour thanks to her humor and openness. But the injuries kept piling up, and eventually, she made the difficult decision to step away indefinitely. Now, Jessica Korda's transformation is jaw-dropping, literally and figuratively. She looks different, not because of glam or aging, but because of the medical journey she's survived. From jaw reconstruction to chronic back pain to becoming a mother, Jessica's life today is more about healing and family than chasing trophies. But she hasn't closed the chapter. Jessica's still training quietly, staying close to golf, and hinting at a comeback someday. Whether she returns or not, her transformation from rising powerhouse to resilient survivor might be one of the most dramatic arcs in modern women's golf. Muni He. Muni He, or as social media knows her, Lily He, might be one of the most talked about golfers of her generation, and not just because of her game. She entered the LPGA with beauty, style, and a massive online following, making her instantly polarizing. Some saw her as a marketing dream. Others questioned whether she could compete at the highest level. Either way, she had everyone's attention. Early on, Muni showed she had the fundamentals: sharp iron play, a clean swing, and a calm presence. But she wasn't racking up wins the way fans expected. Instead, she became a fashion icon, an influencer, and a global brand ambassador. Every outfit she wore went viral. Every Instagram post trended. Soon, she was more recognizable than players with multiple wins. Then her personal life became headline news. Her relationship with F1 driver Alex Albon skyrocketed her fame. Suddenly, she wasn't just an LPGA golfer, she was part of a global sports power couple. With the spotlight that big, people started noticing her transformation. Muni. He went from a teenage rookie to a polished, glamorous figure who looks like she walked out of a luxury fashion campaign. But here's the twist: she hasn't given up on golf. She's still grinding, still on tour, still improving. Her physical transformation, leaner, sharper, more mature, mirrors her mental evolution. She's not just a golf influencer anymore. She's a legitimate athlete who's figuring out how to balance fame and performance without losing her identity. Today's Muni. He looks worlds apart from her rookie year self. The confidence, the poise, the style, everything has leveled up. And whether you love her or criticize her, one thing is undeniable: she's one of the biggest transformations the LPGA has ever seen. Jan Stephenson. Jan Stephenson didn't just play golf, she changed the entire marketing landscape of women's golf. In her prime, she was bold, glamorous, controversial, and unapologetically aware of how her appearance affected her brand. She became the LPGA's original sex symbol, appearing in ads, magazines, and promotional campaigns that pushed boundaries. Some loved it, some hated it, but no one ignored it.
So typical Hollis. Looking around the room, I see so many people that have helped me and supported me over the years. It is amazing to see friends from all walks of life and from all kinds of places be here because of the incredible game of golf. So to all my friends and family, thank you for your support, and please know that you're truly appreciated.
On the course, Jan was more than just a marketing figure. She won majors, dominated leaderboards, and played with a fiery competitiveness that matched her personality. She was the type of player who could charm a crowd one moment and crush her opponents the next. But with fame came backlash. Critics accused her of prioritizing glamour over the game. Traditionalists claimed she was too much. But Jan didn't care. She doubled down. Fast forward to today, and Jan Stephenson's transformation is astonishing. The once fiery, glamorous star is now a member of the World Golf Hall of Fame, a winery owner, a businesswoman, and a leader in veteran support programs. She's older, more refined, and far more respected than many gave her credit for back in the day. Her look has changed, naturally, but her presence hasn't. She still carries that unmistakable confidence, but now with the maturity of someone who's lived an entire lifetime in the spotlight. Jan went from golf's rebel queen to golf's legacy icon, proving that transformations aren't always about looks. Sometimes they're about perception, respect, and longevity. Jan Stephenson's then versus now? A complete evolution, and honestly, iconic. Brooke Henderson. Brooke Henderson entered the LPGA as a quiet Canadian teen who swung the club like she was trying to send the ball into orbit. And it worked. She won early, won big, and instantly became Canada's pride. Her power, maturity, and calm temperament made her seem older than she was, and before long, she became one of the tour's most consistent forces. But even consistency comes with evolution. Early Brooke was strong and athletic, but young-looking. The baby face, the ponytail, the oversized visor. She looked like a high schooler who accidentally wandered into a major championship and just happened to dominate it. As the years passed, Brooke's appearance transformed dramatically. She became stronger, more defined, and more polished. Her fashion changed, her posture changed, her confidence matured. She looked like a seasoned veteran who knew she belonged among the best. Through it all, her game also evolved. She adjusted her swing, refined her putting, and fought through slumps that tested her mentally. Injuries didn't spare her either. Back stiffness, neck issues, fatigue. But Brooke remained Brooke, steady, hard-working, and quietly elite. Today's Brooke Henderson looks like a completely different person compared to her rookie-year self. She carries herself with authority. Her style is more sophisticated. Her energy is more composed. And she's still one of the biggest threats in any tournament she enters. Her transformation is the type that sneaks up on you. You don't realize how much she's changed until you look back and say, wow, that's not the same girl at all. Lorena Ochoa. Lorena Ochoa wasn't just good, she was a legend. A once-in-a-generation talent who became world #1 and stayed there longer than anyone expected. In her prime, Lorena looked unstoppable. Smooth swing, graceful demeanor, laser focus. She dominated with a calm that made opponents crumble. She didn't need glamour. She didn't need controversy. Her game was enough. But then came the shock. At only 28 years old, Lorena retired at the peak of her career. Fans were stunned. Analysts were confused. Who walks away from being world #1? Lorena did, because she had bigger priorities: family, philanthropy, and a life beyond golf. And that's where the transformation begins. The Lorena we see today is almost unrecognizable from the global superstar she once was, not because of age, but because of lifestyle. She traded the competitive intensity for motherhood, charity foundations, and educational programs in Mexico. She lives quietly, peacefully, and intentionally. Her appearance changed too, more relaxed, more natural, more grounded. The athletic, tour-sharpened physique shifted into the comfortable, mature look of someone who doesn't have to live in gym mode 24/7 anymore. And honestly, she looks happier than ever. Lorena Ochoa's then versus now might be the most heartwarming transformation on this list. She didn't fall off. She didn't fade away. She simply chose a different life and thrived. And there you have it. 8 incredible women whose journeys prove that time, life, and pressure can transform even the biggest stars in ways no one expected. From reinventions to retirements to powerful comebacks, each of these golfers carved their own path far beyond the fairway. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe for more golf stories, scandals, and behind-the-scenes drama. Until next time, stay tuned.